Okay, which one is it?
Oh, sure. Actually, it is. Oops. Oops. What is this? I had it here. Oh, maybe I didn't. Ah, shoot. I didn't update this one. It's still on my email.
Okay.
I'll get it in. Do you have access to internet? I'll also send it to you, so maybe you can download it from. Yeah, it's this one. Thank you.
Sure. So that's it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just remind me.
Definitely. Yeah, in the previous slide, I put a lot of pictures which was not much relevant, so this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you going to ask people to line up, or how are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to ask them to go by their by the list in the back of the book, and
Okay.
to just slowly
line up
come up.
over here.
If you feel like you're coming up, start. If your name's starting to come up, please start to line up accordingly. So
So you have at least
5 or 6.
people,
Yeah,
yeah.
at least 10 people here.
standing. Okay.
And then the other thing that I was going to do was, so I think I can time it. I think I can do it.
Okay, so there's nothing you need from me?
Actually, if you can time it, that would be good. At least while you're here. I know you have to leave right at 3:30, but
I'm
can
gonna
you
leave a
time?
little before 3:30 so
Yeah,
that
can
I'm
you
ready for the
can you
phone call.
time it up until that point? Because once they get
Um,
going, then I'll be in good shape. So
Yeah, I
what you
should be
can-
able to do it with
Yeah,
my
what you can
iPhone,
do is
right?
with your
'Cause
iPhone.
My,
So,
my,
so let's see, what is it? It's
there's a timer. The clock function has a timer,
clock
doesn't it?
function, the stopwatch, and so you can do. I would do a stopwatch and just start it and keep track of when you started it, and then tell them when they're
Rather than counting down.
rather than counting down.
Okay,
That would be
alright.
my suggestion. Sure. Absolutely.
But also they would need your okay on that to get the same rate. I'm not sure if they'll accept me going there or if you actually have to show up. I'll try and just go there first.
Otherwise, get Sabrina or somebody else to
Yeah.
go. Okay.
I'll try it myself. If it doesn't work, I'll take it.
No, they are coming up here and lining up. No, they can use this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So we have about 75 talks to get through in the next 90 minutes. So we'll see if we can pull this off. This is not one of the things that was done at the meeting in February. So this is a first time attempt. So we'll see how it goes. So there are a few folks who aren't here today because of travel problems and other issues. But what I would ask is if your name starts with, last name starts with the letter A or B, if you could just start to make your way up to the front right here. And as we go through this, as your names, as you get to closer to your letter of the alphabet, please start making your way up here as quietly and quickly as you can so that we can get through these as quickly as possible. So let's see. I don't have a slide, but I felt like it was a little unfair to ask you guys to do it without me doing it myself. So I'm going to do it in 60 seconds. Susan, do you, can you? Okay. So Susan is going to try to time everybody 60 seconds. Ten seconds. So this is PDF, and yeah, it was easiest to do a single PDF. Are you good? Are you good? Oh, Susan's ready. Okay. So my name is Erwin Gyanchanani, and I run the CIFellows project and the Computing Community Consortium here at CRA. Before this, I got my bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of Virginia and my master's and PhD in biomedical engineering, also from the University of Virginia. I got my PhD in '08. I was focused in systems biology, computational systems biology, specifically interested in modeling intracellular systems, transcriptional regulatory networks, so that we can better understand how those regulatory networks give rise to phenotypic properties of whole cells and ultimately large-scale living systems. I've always been interested in science policy, so I applied for a fellowship program, went to the National Science Foundation, worked on smart health and well-being there, and now I'm at CRA running the CCC and the CIFellows project. And in many ways, it's the dream job because it allows me to do what I always wanted to do, which is science policy. How did I do? 50 seconds. All right, so beat that. 50 seconds.
Let me suggest that people not salvage their time by speaking as fast as
That's right. That's right. The good and the bad of what you can do. All right, so we'll start with, let me make sure that this is all set. All right, so Jay Wook on.
Hi, my name is Jay Wook from University of Maryland. I did my PhD from University of Pittsburgh, mostly focusing on personalized information access, adaptive visualization, which is about the connection between the person and the system. And now I'm trying to extend this person to a system relationship to the social level by doing social network visualization in terms of temporal analysis, visualization of social dynamics. And my current mentor is Ben Schneiderman. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Latan Akshamia. I'm a second-year CI fellow. I work on, my current project is nanostructured semiconductor thermoelectrics at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. My education, my undergrad, master's, and PhD have all been from the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, and I worked with Umberto Ravaioli on simulating coupled electrical and thermal effects in semiconductors, which carried over into my postdoctoral work. I guess that's it. Sorry?
Clapping at the end, that's right. Actually, right, clapping at the end, that's a good idea. And one other thing I forgot to mention in my spiel, so I asked everybody when you put together your slides, one thing that's really odd about you, one fact that's odd about you that not too many people know. So for me, that I love the Washington Redskins, and the personality that I represent right now is not characteristic of the personality that I represent when I'm watching the Washington Redskins play football. Jay Wook, did you want to say anything about one odd fact about you? Okay. Okay.
So I put down, most people don't know that my daughter Noor is turning 7 next month. So that's it.
And when you come up here, please do tell us what your aspirations are long term. So what you've done up until this point, what your project is about, and what you're hoping to do with the CI Fellowship Program, whether you're hoping to go into academia or industry or what have you. I'm going to shut up now.
Hi, my name is Alvin. As you can see, most of my education is in California. My background is in systems and networking, but a lot of my more interesting work, I feel, it has been inspired by the area of economics and what economic theory can teach us about how to design computer systems that are more socially beneficial, I would say. And so I'm doing a CI fellowship at HP Labs right now and hoping to leverage some of that theory into designing their next generation systems like data centers and whatnot, and actually think, and I hope that you could take some of this when you actually build real systems, since I come from that area of systems and networking, to actually help refine economic theory and so on and so forth. So one thing, I don't know what I want to do, academia, industry, whatnot, but I just want to be happy and have enough money to live in California. Secondly, one weird thing is I interviewed actually with ESPN Research before taking the CI Fellows thing. So any sports fans, like Erwin, I guess we should talk.
I'm Cindy Bethel. I did my undergraduate and graduate work at the University of South Florida. I'm currently at Yale University working with Brian Scazzalotti, and I'm in a second year CI Fellow. My current project is Sharing a Secret, Interactions Between Children, Robots, and Adults, which what I'm looking at is whether robots can be used as a therapeutic tool for children that have gone through abuse or trauma, and also whether we can use robots to gather sensitive information from these children that have been betrayed by adults and authority figures. My career goals, I'm looking primarily at academics, but I'm also considering government and industry research labs. One, I'm interested in human-robot interaction first and foremost, robotics and artificial intelligence. And a fun fact was that I sang 2 performances on stage with the Carpenters, which several of you probably don't even know who that is, but anyway, that's me.
Hi, I'm Rob Bocchino. I'm a first-year CI Fellow. My background is I have an undergraduate degree in mathematics from Harvard. Then I actually started my professional career as a lawyer. So I went to law school, also at Harvard, and I practiced law for a few years. But I decided my true passion was in computer science. So I went to the University of Illinois for my PhD. For my thesis work there, I worked on something called deterministic parallel Java, which is a programming language based on Java that guarantees determinism for parallel programs. For the CI Fellows project, my mentor is Jonathan Aldrich at CMU, and I'm working on design and verification of abstractions for expressing parallelism. My career goals are to stay in academia, and my interests are in programming language, type systems, verification, and concurrency. And an unusual or interesting fact about me is that I'm very devoted to music, so I play the Baroque violin. I'm also actually learning to play the recorder recently, and I compose music. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carl Bosley. So Rob and I and the Unabomber have one thing in common. We were all undergraduates at Harvard in math department. So when they detected explosives on my bag, TNT, I did not tell them that I was a Harvard math student about a decade ago. Didn't want to see what would happen after that. Anyway, I'm from Dighton, Kansas, middle of nowhere, and sort of continued on this track for a while. Then in 7th grade, I was 5th in math counts, and I was so excited I was going to the national competition in Washington, D.C., and then somebody told me the alternates don't go. So I worked really hard the next year because I wanted a trip to Washington, D.C. I'd never been out of the Midwest. Ended up in this the magical place called D.C. and actually ended up winning the competition. So that sort of changed, I guess, where I was going with my life. Ended up doing these other things. Now I'm a CI Fellow. My research project is kind of a narrow focus on authentication using learning with parity with noise, but I'm interested in theory in general. Thanks. Somebody left their cell phone?
Hi everyone, my name is Yuri Brun. I'm from University of Washington. I went to various schools to get there. What I work on now is trying to build self-adaptive systems, software systems that can adapt to changing environments, changing conditions, changing anything you can think of. And one of the particular projects I'm working on right now is trying to look at how can we help the system make the decision at runtime. How can it collect enough information to make the decision on its own? So what I started looking first is how do we collect information to let developers make decisions. And so I'm looking at an area such as collaborative development, where there's a bunch of people who are later going to try to have to merge their code. And so the system tries to collect as much information as it can, as early as it can, to tell people about conflicts way before they know they're actually going to happen. If I'm editing some piece of code and somebody else is editing it, and 2 weeks from now we might find out that merging our code is going to cause some test to fail that's passing for both of us right now, the system will tell you as early as possible. Now I was going to tell you an interesting fact about the city I live in, Seattle, which shut down completely just because of 1.5 inches of snow a couple of weeks ago. There were buses that were sliding on their sides down these hills. But actually, I was reading Peter Lee's blog before I got up here, and it actually turns out that he left Microsoft to go to IBM, so I'd hate to break the news.
Hi, my name is Lillian. I did my thesis work at the Robotics Institute at Carnegie Mellon University, and I'm now at Intel Labs at the Seattle site close to University of Washington. My research interests are in manipulation and dexterity, and in particular, my thesis work looked at how we can look at human manipulation strategies and use the insights from human motor behavior to enhance and augment robot manipulation. In my postdoc research at Intel Labs Seattle, my mentors are Dieter Fox and Josh Smith, and my project there is going to be looking at how we can incorporate perception into the refinement of manipulation plans. So in particular, we want to use perception to be responsive to both the environment, where you might have many objects or a high state of the environment that you need to estimate. We also want to be responsive to human cues for cooperative manipulation tasks. My career goals are to continue in research, either in industry or academia, and my interesting fact is in my spare time I like to do origami.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yan Hua. I got my PhD degree in computer science from Wayne State University this summer. My major research interest focuses on data mining, machine learning, and related medical health informatics. Now, I work as a research fellow in the University of Michigan, and my current project is to investigate how to apply data mining algorithms into the kidney transplant applications. And in this project, we want to apply dynamic program algorithm to get the optimal cross-matching across all of the donors and patients' pairs. At the end, all patients can save their lives. In the future, I want to be a faculty or researcher to build a bridge between the data mining and the related health applications. And another one thing I want to say, about 10 years ago, I came to US and I lived in Michigan about 10 years. So in the future, I want to find a permanent job, maybe outside the Michigan state. Thanks.
I'm not Mark. Is Mark here? Yeah, I'm here. Oh.
I didn't realize. Hi. Hi, my name is Mark Chiarini. I finished my doctorate in this past August at Tufts University under the tutelage of Professor Alva Couch. And my background is primarily in IT management, actually. I worked in industry for quite some time, came back to the PhD. Currently at Harvard, I'm working on something a little bit distinct from my PhD work. I'm researching the capabilities and limitations of something called provenance, which is the lineage of data. So how does it get manipulated? If you're looking at a piece of data, how did it arrive in its current state? What processes touched it? And I'm particularly interested in how it can be applied to IT management. A lot of people don't realize that many computer problems are caused by misconfiguration or hidden dependencies that you didn't perceive when you set up the system. So I plan to live a long and fruitful life as a tenured professor somewhere, and hopefully communicating with NSF. And in the 4th grade, I won a contest to create the most words out of the letters in the phrase Thanksgiving turkey.
Okay, I am David Schaffness. So my undergraduate background is in physics and French, but in 2002, the job market for Francophone physicists dried up, so I had to find something else to do, and I got into distributed systems and networking at Northwestern. So at a high level, what I try to do is build systems that perform network measurements that you can then use to inform other systems that do things like improve network reliability and performance. And generally what I want to do is put out software that users actually install on their machines, so they have incentive to use this software, which in turn provides information that you can use to build other software and create a nice positive feedback loop. I'm also interested in privacy, and along those lines, these are things that users, I think, should be interested about, and it's gained a lot of attention in policy. So currently, I'm working at University of Washington, doing large-scale measurements of the internet. Later on, I hope to continue doing research either in academia or in a research lab. And the strange thing is that I've put a lot more miles on my bike than my car. I measure my rides in hundreds of miles. So that's it.
My name is Tamara, but you can call me Tammy Clegg. I just recently, this summer, received my PhD from Georgia Tech. I am a learning scientist, and I design technology to help people develop identity. So in my dissertation work, I looked at identity development in the STEM fields. We created an after-school environment where kids learn science through cooking, which is what you see in this picture. And now I'm at the University of Maryland, College Park, working with Allison Druin, where we get kids involved in participatory design, which means they actually design their own technologies that they use. So I'm doing that to design technologies to help learners to develop identity. So right now we're working on a virtual community for kids to develop identity as musicians. And then one strange thing about me, my family members told me to say that my laugh makes other people laugh. So if you know me, or if you talk to me throughout this time, you'll probably see that.
Hi, I'm Jyotirmay, Joe for short. I got my PhD from the University of Texas at Austin this past summer, and my undergraduate education from India. My research interests are largely in formal verification, model checking, and automata theory. My research is sort of at the crossroads of theoretical computer science, programming languages, mathematical logic, and sort of the newer trends of program analysis, static analysis. And I'm currently working with Rajiv Allur at University of Pennsylvania. And one of the overarching things that I have been interested in my research is there is this lot of work on verification of existing software programs. How can we leverage the information that we have verifying programs over the last few decades to designing better software systems that are designing systems in which enable programmers to write better programs. So that's been one of the projects that I've been working on. My career goals is I want to be at an industrial research lab or a faculty position. And a strange thing is, in my spare time, I like to code for a multi-user dungeon role-playing fantasy game.
Hi, I'm Nick Diakopoulos. I am a second-year CI fellow. I graduated in the summer of 2009 from Georgia Institute of Technology. I'm at Rutgers now, and my mentor is Moore Nauman. I'm interested in HCI broadly. More specifically, I'm doing work in computational journalism, which is essentially the application of computer science to issues that are important in journalism, things like information gathering, making sense of that information and data, and also thinking about new forms of dissemination and presentation of news information. And some of the projects I'm working on are up here. So thinking about social media visual analytics, how to tap into social media streams like Twitter and Facebook to help reporters do better reporting around events. I also had the privilege of being a mass media fellow at the Sacramento Bee in 2009, where I worked as a science reporter. And when I was there, I was allowed to gather some data on their news commenting system. And have turned that into a fruitful research project where we're looking at how issues of quality impact news consumption and production. Also looking at other things like interfaces for navigating video events and for turning data into information graphics. And one thing about me is I'm a salsa dancer.
Hello. I'm Xiaoning Ding. I got my PhD degree from Ohio State. Currently, I'm at Intel Lab Pittsburgh. So the project I'm working on called high speed. That means hierarchy, CV, parallel algorithm design. But I'm not working on the parallel algorithm design itself. I'm working on how to improve the system to facilitate, to improve the performance of parallel algorithms. So we, by the hierarchy, we mean the cache in the CPU, memory, and storage. The purpose is to accelerate data accesses so that the program can execute faster. So I take the CIFellows to further build my record for academia or industry lab job. Thank you.
Please keep lining up.
Yes. Oh, hi, I'm Dave Doty. I went to Iowa State. Now I'm at Caltech. I prove theorems, primarily in theoretical models of molecular self-assembly. The idea behind the field is trying to figure out how to design molecules synthetically so that when you toss them in a tube, you step back, you let them interact, they automatically arrange themselves into some structure. And the idea is if you want to build really small things, we can't manipulate the molecules by hand, so we have to program them to manipulate themselves. It actually looks a lot like low-level programming. And primarily I've done theoretical work, entirely theoretical, but now in this lab I'm going to get into some experimental work. Long-term career, I want to keep proving theorems. That probably means faculty member, but I'd be happy to do it in a research lab too. And for whatever reason, when I'm sitting thinking, I play with rubber bands. I guess it's kind of like chewing my nails, but just less destructive. So, thank you.
Keep going.
I'm not Jeremy. Hi, I'm Jenny Finkel. I did my undergrad at Columbia. I just finished my PhD at Stanford. Now I'm at MIT working with Mike Collins. My main area of research is natural language processing. Specifically, I'm working on semi-supervised learning. So that's trying to figure out how to use, for instance, all of the data that's on the internet, just pure text, to improve the language models that we have, to improve all of the general NLP tasks that we have. Career goals, for a long time I thought I wanted to be a faculty member. Lately I'm realizing how much I like coding and the actual hands-on nitty-gritty of research, and am rethinking what I actually want to do for my career. And my fun fact is that I was on a card counting team in college and early grad school, and as a result I've been a character in 2 different books.
Hi, I'm Dove Gordon. I also went to Columbia. I guess I finished a year after Jenny. I got my PhD at Maryland earlier this year. I study cryptography. So imagine you use Facebook, and you want your friends to know where you are if they're within a mile of you, but you don't want them to know where you are otherwise. And you don't want Facebook to ever know where you are. So this is a specific example of secure computation, which is what I work on. I'll tell you more about it if you ask me afterwards. A surprising thing about me, I guess, is that Dove is my middle name, not my first name, which causes all sorts of confusion. Dove is Hebrew for bear. Shmuel is Hebrew for Samuel, which is my first name, and try spelling that when you're a kid.
Hi, I'm Elena Grigorescu. I'm currently a postdoc at Georgia Tech, and I'm working with Chris Spikert and Santosh Vempala. And I'm interested in theoretical computer science, and I'm working there on a few projects. On one of them, I'm looking at computational problems related to error-correcting codes and lattices, such as decoding, local decoding, list decoding, and so on. And on another project, I'm working in computational learning theory. I'm becoming interested in computational learning theory. Before coming to Georgia Tech, I was a grad student at MIT, where I worked in property testing, and especially in algebraic property testing. And before that, I was at Bard College, which is a liberal arts school in upstate New York. And career-wise, I would love to stay in research in academia or in a research lab.
Keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our man, David Harmon. He is wanted in all 50 states for an academic research position. He's been seen near New York University, and he's a suspected hippie sympathizer. He's been seen with the Professor Dennis Zorn, also of NYU. Other suspected associates include Euler, Lagrange, Euclid. However, we're not sure of their connection with Harmon. He is overeducated and therefore considered highly dangerous. We've seen him around the DC area, so feel free to engage. However, do so with extreme caution. His charming demeanor and self-deprecating sense of humor have caught many off guard. Thank you, and good luck.
Hi, I'm Ragib Hassan. I'm a second-year CI fellow, currently at Johns Hopkins University, where I work with Professor Randall Barnes. I got my PhD and master's both from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, but I'm originally from Bangladesh. I consider myself a researcher in computer history. That is, I'm obsessed with the history and provenance of all kinds of objects such as files, databases, clouds, as well as physical devices like mobile devices, cell phones, and so on. My research focuses on securing the history and provenance to protect them from illicit tampering and also protect their confidentiality and privacy. And I'm also using provenance for making security decisions such as authentication and access control. My current projects include secure location provenance, cloud computing security, as well as designing mobile clouds using mobile phones. My career goal is to become a faculty or have a job in research labs. And interesting facts, I'm an administrator in both the English and Bengali Wikipedias, and I'm having a baby in a month or so.
Congratulations. Hello, I'm Tim Havens. I got my PhD at the University of Missouri, and then through my benefactors at the CRA, I was able to go to Michigan State, where I can pursue my first love of racing vintage snowmobiles. That's pre-1976 snowmobiles. It's great fun. And on the side, I do clustering and machine learning algorithms in large data sets. I hope that, like Susan, somebody offers me a job after this talk. In faculty is preferred. So that is all. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm Michael Hay. I'm at Cornell, working with Johannes Gerke on privacy-preserving data analysis. And this picture sort of captures some of the problems we work on. So there's like some rich social network data with sensitive attributes on the individuals and these private relationships between them. And we want to allow analysts to study sort of global properties of this network, such as its topology or what happens when you run a process on that network, but avoid disclosing sensitive information, such as friendship relations or attributes. I'm more broadly interested in data management, things like data privacy, data mining, data integration, and I'd like a job in academia or industrial research. And if that doesn't work out, I used to be a trail cook at a dude ranch out in Wyoming, and I could always go back to that.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Human Humayun. I'm from UC San Diego. I did my bachelor in Iran in Sharif University of Technology and master at University of Victoria in Canada and PhD at University of California, Irvine. Being in 3 different departments from electrical engineering, computer engineering, and now in computer science allowed me to do cross-layer research, interdisciplinary research on architecture, circuit, and CAD VLSI. My research interest is on power thermal and temperature management in single-core, multi-core, and VLSI circuit. And my current project is on dynamically heterogeneous core through 3D resource pooling. And my mentor is Dean Tolson. And my career future basically goal is to go to academia. And a strange thing about myself is basically I used to speak very fast. Probably the last practice was at ICCD conference where I present 30+ slides in like 12 minutes. So this is a reminder for me.
Time. Keep going.
Hi, my name is Shelly. And I'm a postdoc at Yale University. I got my undergrad degree at the University of Michigan and my PhD from Harvard. And my PhD work focuses on incentive design questions that arise in social computing, applying game theory, principal agent models, multi-agent systems to social computing systems. And I'm continuing to do that at Yale, where I'm hoping to kind of unify some of my thesis work into a general theory of design for peer production, as well as look at more principal agent models. And my career goals are, like everyone else, to continue research in either academia or a research lab. And I have an affinity for kitchen gadgets. I recently added a mezzaluna to my collection so that I could make pesto like an Italian grandmother.
Hi, my name is Yu Ho Jin. I graduated PhD from Texas A&M in 2009, and I got bachelor degrees and master degrees from KAIST Korea. And my PhD work is mostly focusing on how we can better design the on-chip network for multi-core. And currently, I'm working in the University of Southern California with Professor Timothy Pinkston, and especially for focusing on how we can globally coordinate on-chip network design for parallel application, communication behavior. And the career goal is to find a position in the academia or industrial lab. And one of the other things about me is I'm really the vivid video game player. So whenever I have free time or I'm get stressed, then I like to play game for 24 hours. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Johns, and I started, my undergraduate was in chemical engineering. So I did that at the University of Virginia. I worked in chemical engineering for a couple years and then in the financial industry for a couple years before going back to graduate school at UMass Amherst. I'm now at Duke University working with Ron Parr. And my area is in machine learning, a specific field called reinforcement learning, where you have an agent operating in some type of environment trying to maximize a notion of reward. And a couple of the problems that I've been working on are feature selection and feature construction, because how an agent represents its environment strongly dictates the type of behavior that an agent can exhibit. In terms of career goals, I'm interested in government and industrial research. And one fact about me, I've been to 47 of 50 states. I've still got Alaska, New Mexico, and Iowa to go.
Hi, I'm Saket Joshi. I did my bachelor's in India and my master's in Oregon State University and PhD at Tufts. And through CIFellows, I went back to Oregon State University. And I do AI planning and just apply it to stuff like robot navigation, and especially in places where the state spaces are really large. My long-term career goals are to stick to research in industry or the academia. And one strange thing about me is that I translate song lyrics from other languages into the archaic language of Sanskrit.
I'm Tom Keel. I'm at the College of Nanoscale Science and Engineering, working on a project working with neuronal networks, that's real neurons, looking to see if we can build computers out of them, if you will. And that takes advantage of my background in systems biology, evolutionary computing, machine learning, and cell culture. My PhD I did at RPI, and we were looking at enhancing protein production. And I like to call it a pre-doc that I did at GE at their research and development labs. Worked on a variety of programs from amyloid imaging to financial anomaly detection. And so I was there for about 10 years, my bachelor's and master's in CS at RPI. And I have 3 kids. In my copious spare time, I like to design analog games. So, okay.
So I'll start with my little perk, which is science of cooking. That's me trying to make hand-pulled noodles, which involves learning about proteins, gluten, water content, and elasticity, and things like that. Anyways, I study computational geometry, which involves 3D data. For me, in particular, 3D data that's large, involving algorithms that's parallel and out of core. And now I'm transitioned into proteomics, particularly protein identification using mass spectrometry data. And you could think of this as like many fields, n-dimensional data, and I'm focusing on the large and complex aspects. And also basically trying to come up with ways to clarify and display all this massive data to the users so that they have an easier time verifying it. And I hope to continue doing research in this area.
I'm Samantha. I was in CS at NYU, and now I'm in a biomedical informatics department at Columbia. And my broad obsession is time and time series data. My more focused obsession is causality and causal inference. And what I've been working on now is figuring out how we can infer causal relationships from observational data that's very, very messy, like electronic health record data, where you have lab measurements, demographics, symptoms, all of this together, and how can we use this to find the natural history of a disease. And my future goals are to be a faculty member doing this with not just EHR data, but sequence data, patients' own records from things like Patients Like Me and all of that type of thing. And in my spare time, I spin my own yarn and knit with it.
So hi, my name is Zico Coulter. I got my PhD at Stanford, and now I'm a postdoc at MIT. And my research looks at using machine learning and control to change the way that we generate and consume energy. So this is obviously a pretty broad field, and we have a lot of projects going on, but amongst them, we're building a wind turbine and controlling it with in unsteady flow conditions with machine learning techniques. And so that's actually my desk underneath that big wind tunnel we've built there. I'm looking for a faculty job, and I guess I'll be applying in a year. And a strange fact was I actually played guitar in a Beatles cover band in college.
Hi, my name is Lucas, and I did my undergrad or graduate degree to master's from Charles University in Prague. Then I went to do my PhD at Cornell, which I finished a year and a half ago, almost a year ago. Then I went to do a postdoc at Los Alamos National Labs, where I did something different than what I did at Cornell. And then I realized that I want to go back to what I was doing, which is probabilistic inference, in particular, working on satisfiability problems and using belief and survey propagation to solve those problems. So I applied to CI Fellowship, and here I am as part of the Claremont Graduate University at this point. I was trying to split my project between academia and industry, so I have a mentor from NASA Ames Research Center where planning problems that I'll be looking at will be coming from, so I'm quite happy about that, about the split. In terms of research interest, I am interested in artificial intelligence, mainly as a toolbox for solving complex problems, not necessarily as an agent to have fun with. I have people for that. And for my future goal, I just want to do something useful. I guess that's good enough for me, and I'm not exactly sure if it's academia or industry at this point. That's why I keep the mix 50-50. And I'm out of time too. One fact I want to tell you, beer is cheaper than water in Prague, and I don't like beer.
Time.
Hi, I'm Homan Lee. I'm at UT Austin, and I got my BA in Math and Music at Columbia, my Master's at Columbia, and my PhD at Columbia. And I study computational learning theory, and more broadly, computational complexity. And I'm interested in what kinds of concepts are learnable by computers and what aren't. And I guess the interesting fact about me is that my nose is unbreakable.
Hi, my name is Julia Lirler, and I received my PhD from University of Texas at Austin, and now I'm in Kentucky, University of Kentucky. So I moved from one exotic place in United States to another, and I like it. I really enjoy it. And my research area is in declarative programming paradigms, and now I'm looking into methods of integration of different logic-based declarative programming languages under one roof as far as computational methods are concerned and languages are concerned. And in the future, I would like to look at applications that span across the strengths of those different paradigms, and for instance, including natural language understanding related issues. And in principle, those methods I'm working on are good for hard combinatorial search problems. So if you have any in mind, please come talk to me. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My full name is Edgar Jefferson Lobaton Lopez. I do have two last names, and that's not my odd fact of the day. My research, or I guess my bio in backwards order. I'm currently at UNC Chapel Hill. I graduated from Berkeley from the EECS department under the supervision of Shankar Sastry and Regina Baiji. I got my Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Electrical Engineering from Seattle University. I was born in Peru, which explains the two last names. And the reason why I went into science, engineering, and computing in general is because I love transformers, actually, and I like to build robots, actually, for fun. So that was my odd fact. My research interest, particularly interested in sensor networks, computer vision, and just robotics in general. And there's a couple of projects I'm working on, essentially tracking of topological features in dynamical environments, topological image processing. In a nutshell, I'm interested in extracting or robustly extracting information from sensor networks and images by using topological methods. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I am Cristian Lumezeanu. I'm at Georgia Tech now, and until last year I was a PhD student at the University of Maryland. And before that, I come from Romania, so I was at the Polytechnic University of Bucharest. My interests are in networking, distributed system security, and some of my projects are in cloud computing, spam detection, cellular networks, and please come see my poster if you want to learn more about them. For the future, I want to find a position where I can think, develop ideas, and research. And one unknown thing about me, when I was 16, I played King Lear in a high school staging of Shakespeare's play.
Hello, my name is Xiaojue Ma, and I've just graduated from Princeton University. I'm currently a research fellow in the National University of Singapore. And my research interest is in designing multimedia communication assistant for people who have language disabilities or language limitations. The idea is using stimulus like images, videos, icons, and sounds, something like this, to represent meanings during everyday communication. So you can simply, so you can merely show the representations and play the sound. And I haven't started my postdoc at CMU with my mentor, Judy Follis, yet. So we just hope that we can put this kind of research into human-robot interaction instead of just human-human interaction. One fun fact about me is that during my PhD study, I can read comics, watch animations, or watch YouTube videos in the lab in public because I can claim that I'm doing my research.
Hi, I'm Neeti Madan. I did my PhD last year from University of Utah, and I did my undergraduate from University of Delhi in India. I'm currently at IBM TJ Watson Research Center. My research interests are mainly in computer architecture. During my PhD, I looked at how to leverage disruptive technologies like 3D die stacking for reliability and cache hierarchy design. And currently, I'm looking at how to provide quality guarantees in power management. My career goals are either to be in academia or in industry research. Fun fact, I have a 1.5-year-old, very, very naughty handful son. And my friends call me Dr. Madan because I love to Google for just anything, and I can just advise for anything, including all sorts of medical stuff also. Thank you.
Hi, so my name is Vicki Manfredi, and I'm working with Mark Cravella at Boston University, and we're currently looking at how we can unify different data forwarding mechanisms across all these different kinds of networks. So my research interests sort of broadly are in ad hoc networks, adaptive sensor networks, and routing. And the problem I guess I'm really interested in is how does network change impact how protocols should behave, so network protocols. I got my BA at Smith College, and I did my master's and PhD at UMass Amherst. And I guess my future career goals really are a research lab, either academia or in industry. And I guess the strange thing about me is I've run 2 marathons, Zurich and Boston.
Hello, I'm Dan McCoy. I received a whole bunch of degrees from the University of Colorado in computer science. I'm now at the University of San Diego. My research interests are in security and privacy. Mostly I like to study real deployed systems and look for security and privacy problems within them, because a lot of times the builders of these systems don't realize what these problems are. And then I like to try and apply or extend existing theoretical solutions to work within the constraints of these systems. Career goals, industry labs, tenure track position if you're hiring, talk to me. And strange facts, since I like to look at real systems, I've purchased a car, replica Rolexes, and male enhancement products. as parts of research studies.
Hi there, I'm Andrew. I'm at Drexel University, and my background, as you see, is interdisciplinary. I did a master's in electrical engineering at MIT, including a stint at the Media Lab, and then I did my PhD in music at the University of Pennsylvania, and I still compose, but my research is about building tools to quantify and support creative musical expression. And so what you see in the picture is an example of where I've equipped an acoustic piano with sensors on the keyboard and electromagnetic actuators that actually shape the acoustic sound of the instrument, so we can get some pretty interesting new musical effects. So I've worked with musicians of various types, and also I'm teaching some classes using music to generate interest in computing among undergrad students. My goal is to find a faculty position that lets me continue my interdisciplinary interests. And my fun fact is that I'm a complete Apple nut, and I once set out to collect every pre-PowerPC Mac model ever made. I got about 30 of them before I couldn't keep them around anymore.
Hi, my name is Mariah Meyer, and I'm doing my postdoc at Harvard. Before that, I did my bachelor's degree at Penn State in astronomy, and my PhD work from the University of Utah in computer science. My research area is in visualization, and in my postdoc, I've been working with biologists. And so working collaboratively with them, we design visualization systems to help them understand large amounts of heterogeneous data. One of the things that's so cool about working in visualization is that I get to come in and just learn about the really cool parts of science without having to do the year's worth of painful experiments. My career goal is an academic position, and possibly I'd be interested in joint positions with either design schools or genome sciences. And my one fact is that I once wrote a 2,000-word story about pig poop that ended up on the front page of the Chicago Tribune.
Hello everyone, my name is Lili Michalkova. I'm a second-year fellow at the University of Maryland, College Park. My mentor is Lisa Guitor, and I got my PhD from UT Austin. My work is in machine learning. I'm especially interested in domains that have relational structure, so the entities there are engaged in some kind of relationships, and also I'm interested in methods that can handle noise and uncertainty. One of the projects I'm working on is structural learning of statistical relational models that can work from streaming data, so it would be more scalable in a large domain. And as a test bed, I developed an application to predicting collaborations on Wikipedia. Other things I've been doing in the past year is I organized a workshop at AAAI and taught a tutorial there. The fun fact about me is that I totally love teaching, and so I taught an undergraduate machine learning class this past semester.
Hi, my name is Aman Milner, and I'm currently a first-year CI Fellow at the Olin College of Engineering in Boston, working with Lynn Stein. One strange fact, before my real strange fact, is that I went from a school of 30,000 students to a school with 300 students, and starting out at USC, which was very large. Georgia Tech was a little smaller. MIT for my PhD in the Media Lab was a little smaller. So I'm currently working on in the area of tangible user interfaces by giving people construction kits to make tangible user interfaces, particularly young people. So I'm also a learning scientist because I try to get people interested in computer science by giving them a programming language like the Scratch programming language and the ability to make things that control what they program on the screen. So if they want to build a steering wheel or their own Dance Dance Revolution pad or mini Wii-like things, they can do that while they're learning how to program. And I'm working on a new platform with colleagues called ModKit, which is trying to do more with not just sensor input, but also actuation with the graphical programming language. My other strange fact is that even though I'm tall now, I was so small when I was young, my favorite hiding place was in a kitchen drawer when I was hiding from my sister.
I'm Antonina Mitrofanova. I was born and grew up in Ukraine. I did my PhD in computer science at NYU, and now I'm a CIFellow at Columbia University. My research is in computational biology, and it focuses on understanding how much information learned from mouse models of cancer can be transferred back into human context. For this, we built transcriptional regulatory networks for both species and compared them for conserved as well as divergent regulatory pathways and programs that drive cancer progression. My ideal setting would be academic setting. I organize meetings on biological networks at Columbia University. I will also be teaching a short course in genetics for 4th grade elementary schoolers. And I would like to thank CIFellows for giving us a great opportunity to be independent minds and free-thinking researchers. Thank you so much.
God, I gotta follow that, huh? Hi, everybody. My name is Deidre Morrison. I'm a second-year CIFellow working at Clemson University with Juan Gilbert in the School of Computing. I got my bachelor's from Spelman College, and I got my PhD at Northwestern University. I indulge my inner psychologist by doing research on how people manage their personal relationships in non-traditional spaces using mobile technology and computer-mediated communication. And my career goals are completely divergent, apparently, from everyone else's. I actually have an interest in research administration, so I'd like to be a research scientist, actually do a stint as an NSF program director. That is something I'm really interested in. And ultimately, maybe be like the president of research at a university. And my interesting fact is actually I speak a little bit of Japanese.
Hi, my name is Arifa Nisar. I'm working at University of California, Santa Cruz, and I graduated from Northwestern. Before that, I received my undergrad education from Pakistan. My research is basically motivated from the ever-growing gap between the processing power of large-scale systems and the capabilities of parallel storage. So my research is actually, my research contribution is towards eliminating this gap for massively parallel applications in scientific computation domain. And my career goal is to become a tenure track faculty position and no less than that. And strange stuff about me is that I like to watch and read the real-life criminal investigations.
I got the instructions wrong, but bear with me. My name is Ifoma Wogu. I am currently at University of Rochester. I graduated from the University at Buffalo. My research areas are two different areas. One is computer vision, really based on using applied machine learning techniques for computer vision. And since I finished my PhD, I've extended that into natural language generation. So given an image, how can we take that image and really have a robot or a computer system start to talk about that image and have conversation with you? And the other side of my research is in biometrics, and I look at facial expressions, trying to detect micro-expressions to see where people are lying. And we actually got some money from the NSF for verity detection to see in a conversation if somebody is telling the truth or not. For 40 subjects, we got as high as 80% accuracy. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Iris Oved. I did my PhD at Rutgers University in philosophy. I also worked with cognitive scientists and computer scientists over there. And before that, my undergraduate degree was in interdisciplinary studies, mostly cognitive science, at the University of Arizona. And through the CI Fellowship, I had the opportunity to spend a year and a half now. I'm in my second year at the University of Arizona. I'm back doing my postdoc there, working in a cognitive robotics lab. The question that I'm interested in is there's sort of this very unique property about the mind that there are things in here that are about things out there. And I want to figure out what it is about us that allows for that kind of aboutness, and what it would take for a robot or a computer to have symbols that are likewise about things in the world. Thanks.
Hi, this is Amit Pandey. I finished my PhD from Iowa State, and now I am in UC Davis. My research is in multimedia systems, from protocols, compression, security, architectures, and trying to do it all together. And so the CIFellow project is the algorithm for secure multimedia transmission. We're trying to have common algorithms for both encryption and compression. The new project I'm working on side by side is trying to enhance the video experience over the emerging 4G networks. And so the interesting thing is that I think I may be the youngest person here, 23 years. And my future goal to be a researcher, mostly as a academic position here, otherwise India. And if I don't do that, I may end up opening a restaurant because I like cooking a lot.
Hi, I'm Sharoda Paul. I'm working at the Palo Alto Research Center with Ed Chi in the Augmented Social Cognition Group. I got my PhD in Information Sciences and Technology from Penn State University this May. And I got my bachelor's in Computer Science and Engineering before that from India. My research interests are in HCI, computer-supported cooperative work, social computing, social and collaborative web search, and I've looked at healthcare informatics too. For my PhD, I looked at collaborative information seeking and sense making in healthcare, so in a hospital setting, as well as in online web search tasks. And my future goal is to continue doing research wherever I go. One fact about me, even though I may not look like it, I have several years of karate experience in high school, and I was one belt away from a black belt. But then the bigger kids started beating me up, so. Thank you.
So I'll give everybody a chance to catch their minds, I guess, and give their minds a little bit of a rest. Just one point here. We have several S's and T's, last names, that could not be here because of the weather. So if you're in the last few letters of the alphabet, just be advised that you might want to start making your way up. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm Jeff Phillips. I did my undergrad at Rice University and my PhD at Duke, where I looked at algorithms and stuff in computational geometry. So I started looking at fairly low-level combinatorial geometry problems and got interested in approximating shapes and distributions using these low-level techniques. And this has turned into an interest now partially now in my postdoc at University of Utah in algorithms and large data analysis. In particular, problems like in medical imaging with fiber tracking and anomaly detection in other problems like that. And my broad goal is to understand the error and uncertainty inherent in scientific data, and then in the processes that result that you're running that data on. And I'd like to continue this in a faculty research lab. And I once or twice spent an entire week painting green.
Hi, my name is Brian Price. I got my PhD at Brigham Young University. There I was studying how to select objects out of videos and image sequences. And so I enjoyed doing that in computer vision. Right now I'm working in Adobe Systems, my mentor Scott Cohen. And so I've been focusing on stereo computation of object selection and editing. So stereo is where you have two cameras, similar to humans have two eyes. And the application is becoming more urgent again because of all the 3D media that's starting to come out in movies and TVs and such. So future goals, I'd like to work in research in industry or academia. And something interesting about me is that I lived in Brazil for 2 years, serving voluntarily as a church missionary.
Okay. Hi,
Hi everybody, I'm Anna Pait. I did my PhD at University of Washington and now I'm at Stanford. So if you want to know more about my career, you can go to my website, which is mylastname.com. My research interests are about computer hardware for numerous applications, from energy efficiency to new biomedical hardware for mobile medicine. If you want to know more, please come to my poster, which is poster number 25. It's quite interesting and fascinating, and you're definitely welcome. And this is portion that you most probably forget if I don't show you what I prepared as an interesting thing. So this is the demo of my hobby. My interest is design process. And this is just one of the examples. If you want to see more, again, you are welcome to go, to my website, which is mylastname.com.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lena, and I'm doing my postdoc at UMass Amherst, my second year. And my mentor is Beverly Wolf. I did my PhD and master's, and actually bachelor's, at Worcester Polytechnic Institute. My interest is intelligent tutoring systems and human-computer interaction, user modeling and learning systems, adapting tutoring systems to individual students. So we look at different things like their proficiency in a topic, their learning styles, their emotions, and looking at all of these things in conjunction with using a tutoring system, mostly with math and science. My future goals are in academia or education research. And one fun fact about me is I have a daughter who is getting ready to go into graduate school in January.
Hi, my name is Dustin Reiches. I did my undergraduate and graduate degrees at USC, where I studied DNA self-assembly and theoretical self-assembly. I'm now at the University of Colorado, working with Professor Nicholas Carell, and we're working on distributed robotics, so implementations of robotic swarms, self-organizing distributed robotics, robotic automatic construction of structures. And so I work on the theoretical models behind that, as well as I'm starting to get my hands dirty and actually build these little guys, which has been a lot of fun. My future goals are to get a tenure track academic position doing research and teaching. Although I have to say doing science policy sounds like an interesting thing that I'd like to get involved with after listening to people talk here. So one strange thing about me is that I learned to ski when I was just 2 years old, and so it's great to be in Colorado where I can take advantage of that.
Hi, I'm Sushmita Roy. I'm originally from India. I got my PhD from the University of New Mexico, and right now I'm a postdoc, a second-year fellow at the Broad Institute with Dr. Aviv Regev. My interests are in machine learning. I develop methods in machine learning to address problems in computational biology. More specifically, I'm interested in inference and analysis of networks in different contexts, where contexts could be cell types, tissues, and even organisms. I like to compare these networks and understand what are the similarities and differences, and what are the evolutionary principles that drive these similarities and differences. For the future, I would like to set up a lab where I do research and collaborate with lots of computational people and biologists. And one strange fact about me is that I essentially live on cereals, coffee, and yogurt, so I'm a really low maintenance person as far as food is concerned.
Hi, my name is Thomas Schmid. I got my master's from EPFL in Switzerland in 2005 and PhD last year from UCLA. I'm right now at the University of Michigan, and my research interests are in basically where software meets hardware. So I build hardware, as some of it is shown here, and then I write software for it to create disruptive systems. Like, for example, this EKG sensor, which just plugs into your headset port and gets all the data and information and power from this headset port itself. So an interesting fact is I do love rock climbing, and in addition to that, I actually got an off-cycle faculty position from the University of Utah, which I will join 3 weeks from now.
My name is Linda Sally. I received my PhD from the University of Chicago in 2008. I'm working with Lisa Hellerstein at Polytechnic Institute. It's in Brooklyn. My research interest is computational learning theory. I'm actually fascinated about figuring what computers can figure out or not figure out in the theoretical aspects where we actually prove it. So that means we work on very limited problems. I mostly focus it on DNF. It's one of those problems that appears so easy and yet it turned out to be really rather difficult when we actually try and prove things. Something people don't know about me, I live in a suburban environment. I have 2 dogs, and I actually take my 1 dog to learn how to be a sheep herding dog.
That's not me. Oh, that's not me. That's not me. Okay,
Actually,
that's me.
actually, is David here? No. Okay.
Okay. So I'm Saurabh Srivastava, and I used to be at the University of Maryland. Now I'm at Cal Berkeley. So to motivate what I do, let me just say that, well, let me claim that the way we program computers is just wrong. It's kind of insane. We expect programmers to write hundreds, thousands of lines of code, if, millions or something like that. And that is unlike every other subfield of computer science where we use computational power to solve our problems. So what I do is I work on program synthesis, which attempts to generate programs from specifications, which could be input-output examples, formal specifications, and the like. So I have a couple of projects going at Berkeley on that, and recently I've started working with some synthetic biologists, people who take these biological parts and construct these organisms which have defined functions, like bioprograms. So I'm trying to apply verification and synthesis to their domain. So when I was making the slide, I thought this was strange enough that I love commuting, but it turns out that it took me 35 hours to get here, so I guess that's probably stranger.
Hi, my name is Veselin Stoyanov, but I just go by Ves because I don't like to torture people. Got my PhD from Cornell University in the area of computational linguistics, where I worked on opinion analysis. And in computational linguistics, we work on a lot of problems that have structured output. So naturally, I became interested in machine learning for problems over structured output and with missing data. And the application that I'm looking at is studying the spread of opinions in social networks. And I'm currently at Johns Hopkins University, which is down the road here. And I actually live in Washington and commute, so I guess I also love to commute. And the strange thing, my wife said that I should put here that my middle name is the same as my last name, but that's not so strange, right? Everybody from Bulgaria knows that. So instead, I put that my name means cheerful in Bulgarian, but although she said that whoever knows me knows that that's not so strange because it matches my personality.
Oh, my movie's not playing. So that's a movie. So if you come by my poster, I'll show you. So I'm Lydia Tapia, and I'm working at University of Texas at Austin. My mentor is Professor Ron Elber. And what we're studying is the problem of protein folding and how to simulate how proteins fold. And this is a really important problem because everybody has proteins in their body. And they move in order to perform some function. And if they don't move correctly, they don't function correctly. So things like Alzheimer's, mad cow disease is from misfolding proteins. So what we're doing is we're using algorithms actually developed for robotics to develop protein folding simulations. and in atomic detail. So we've got movies, we've got pathways, and we've got different ways to compare these pathways as shown in the figure to experimental data. So if come by my poster and I can tell you more. I will be starting a faculty position next month at the University of New Mexico as an assistant professor in computer science. And my interesting fact is that I have postdoc funding, so if somebody does want a job, come talk to me.
Hi, I'm Virginia. I am at Berkeley. This is my second year, and my mentor is Satish Rao. Before that, I did my PhD at Carnegie Mellon. My research interests are in theoretical computer science. In particular, I am interested in problems which are in polynomial time, but for which we don't have very good algorithms. And I want to know why this is the case, so I want to either design algorithms which are good or prove some equivalences between these problems. Something very interesting about me is that I am a very avid tennis player. I was on my college tennis team. I was co-captain the last year, and this actually led me to actually have a new research topic, which is in tournament manipulation. I'm interested in how you can manipulate the outcome of a tennis tournament by changing the seeding of the players. So I actually have a paper on that. Anyway, thank you.
Hi, my name is Muthu Ramakrishnan Venkata Subramaniam. You can call me Muthu. I need extra 5 seconds to say my name, actually. I got my BTech from IIT Madras in India. I did my PhD at Cornell University with Rafael Paz. Currently, I'm doing my postdoc with Yevgeny Dodis at NYU. I have a faculty position at University of Rochester, and I'll be joining there next fall. So all of those who are going to be future faculties, please encourage your undergrads to join University of Rochester for their graduate school. My research interests lie in the interplay between cryptography and complexity. My PhD thesis was focused on secure multi-party computation with a particular focus on concurrent security. And I guess my career goal would be to write good NSF grants. Sorry, Andrew, NSF proposals.
Hi, my name's Steve Voida. I am a second-year CI fellow. I got my PhD at the Georgia Institute of Technology, where I worked with Beth Minot. And my host institution now is UC Irvine in the Department of Informatics, where I'm working with Dr. Gloria Mark. I am a computer scientist. I build tools to help people deal with the information overflow problem, so dealing with all the sources of information and collaborations and projects that are going on. And I built a lot of systems that provided tool-level support, looking at ways to re-envision the desktop to better support the way that people work in the real world. So I'm using my CI fellowship to do a completely different side of that research, which is actually going out into the field and studying people and seeing what techniques they're using to coordinate within groups, and especially to look at the role that email plays in causing information overload, but also helping people manage collaborations and to juggle activities across work groups. And I am looking for a faculty or research position in industry, but I have a two-body problem, so if anybody knows how to solve that, I'm certainly looking for suggestions. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Erin Walker, and I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Manitoba in computer science and psychology, and then I went on to CMU, and I did my PhD there in the Human-Computer Interaction Institute. And what I looked at is how we can use intelligent tutoring systems to support collaborative learning. So I built a system that models student peer tutoring behaviors and then provides them with targeted adaptive feedback. And right now I'm doing a short-term project where I'm taking a bit of a step back. It's a cross-cultural project where I'm traveling to different countries and looking at how students use technology in different contexts. So that's brought me to Brazil and Mexico and Costa Rica this fall, and I'll be continuing in the spring. And then I'll be starting my CI fellowship at Arizona State University, and I'm hoping to combine the two research thrusts where I'll be looking at developing adaptive systems that adapt to the broader social context in addition to student behaviors. And I'll be working with those cute-looking robots over there. My career goals are to do forward-thinking research that has classroom impact, so I'm hoping to find a position that lets me do that. And my fun fact is that when I lived in Canada, I was a nationally competitive saber fencer.
Hi, my name is Susan Weich, and I'm currently at Virginia Tech. My undergraduate degree is in industrial design, which is actually in the College of Fine Arts at Carnegie Mellon. My dissertation work looked at how people use technology to support their religious and spiritual practices, and I used my findings to kind of question some of the assumptions about productivity and efficiency that drive a lot of computing. I'm at Virginia Tech, I'm kind of shifting gears and looking at how people who are originally from countries in sub-Saharan Africa stay connected with their friends and family at home. So I've been interviewing individuals who are from countries in sub-Saharan Africa and using my findings to build some prototypes that I'll go back and evaluate in Africa over the summer. Oh, and a lot of people have talked about, rather than talking about my fun fact, Virginia Tech is hiring this year. So for those of y'all who are looking for jobs, I was asked to pass that along.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yinglong Xia. I'm currently working in the IBM T.J. Watson Research Center. As you can tell from my name, I'm from China, where I got my bachelor and master's degree. I was working on statistical machine learning for some years, and then I realized that those algorithms are so, computationally expensive. So I moved to Los Angeles and the University of Southern California. I studied parallel techniques to accelerate those algorithms, such as, the probabilistic graphic models. Currently, I'm working on graphic models more fundamentally at IBM using auction algorithms and proxy algorithms and so on. And they are all important problems for many real industry and scientific research applications. As a first-year CI fellow, I keep myself open for the future opportunities, either in industrial or in the academia world. Well, I think that's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Yang Xiang. I got my PhD degree from Kansas State University, master and bachelor degree from NUAA, China. My main research interest is bioinformatics. I also enjoyed doing research in algorithms, the data mining, database, and etc. My current project is indexing and mining biomedical data. Our goal is primarily to order the data intelligently so that it is easy to search and indexing them. My host organization is the Ohio State University. Before I get this fellowship, I was employed by the Comprehensive Cancer Center of the Ohio State University. My primary future goal is to find a research position either in industry or academia. I also enjoy teaching and hope such opportunities will be available for me in the future. Not too many people know that I enjoyed keep worms as pets when I was a child. But another strange thing quite a few people do know is that after wasting 5 hours at the airport, my flight was canceled. And I spent another 8 hours drive from Columbus to DC. Thank you very much.
Excuse me. Hello, everyone. My name is Weijun Xiao. I'm from the University of Minnesota. Last year, I just graduated from the University of Rhode Island. I got a bachelor and a master degree in computer science from the Huazhong University of Science and Technology in China. My research interests are data storage, computer architecture, and GPU computing. My current project is storage class memory for high-performance computing. So basic idea is to integrate the new storage technology into the IO hierarchy. So my mentor is Professor David Leja. My future goal is the faculty position. Actually, I just noticed that most of the CI fellows are interested in the faculty position. Probably one suggestion is that we may need to have a web page or news group to share the storage and the experience for the faculty job search I hope all of us can jump out from the CIFellows this year. Okay, thank you very much.
Hello. My name is Jem Yüksel. It looks like Kem, but it's actually Jem. Anyway, I'm at Cornell. I got my PhD from Texas A&M. I'm interested in computer graphics. I worked on various different topics in computer graphics, all the way ranging from real-time water simulations to hair modeling and rendering. I actually have a commercial hair software that are used by many production studios. It's called Hair Farm. At Cornell, I'm working on modeling knitted clothing with complicated knitting patterns that would be topologically valid, so it won't completely fall apart when you do a Rihanna level simulation. And the thing that very, very few people know about me is that, you know, lots of computer scientists have problems remembering names. Well, I have particular problems recognizing faces. So the two of them combined, together with a very bad memory, can put you in some awkward social situations.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tin Zhu. I got my PhD from University of Minnesota, and I'm now a postdoc at UMass Amherst. My research interests lie in three aspects. Systems, such as cyber-physical systems and mobile systems, networks, which includes wireless and sensor networks, and energy management, which deals with renewable energy and power electronics. The figures on the right show some of the devices I developed from scratch. My current research focuses on conducting theoretical analysis of mobile and network systems and developing sustainable resource allocation strategies. My future research career goal is to be a professor. I'm now spending a lot of effort on renewable energy related research. One strange fact is that I actually started energy-related research when I was only 3 years old. I can tell you the full story offline if you are interested. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so my name is Caroline Zimkevich. I'm a first-year CI fellow. I graduated from UNC Charlotte for my PhD studying visualization. My research interests are mainly in visualization theory and the cognitive science of how people make sense of visualization arrangements and so forth. And I'm doing my postdoc now at Brown University with Dr. David Laidlaw, and where I'm working on ways of modeling user reasoning in order to evaluate visualization systems and the design of visualizations. Something unsurprising about me is that I have the exact same career goals as the 75 people who preceded me. Something more surprising is that I'm a passionate follower of experimental and art video games, and I think it's really exciting that people are out there using code as raw material for art, and all computer scientists should be interested in this. Thank you.
So I'm just going to stand here as opposed to getting up there. But that was great. And thank you all for putting together your slides, for getting your slides in on time, and for actually going through with that. Hopefully that was informative. Hopefully you found potential new collaborators that you can talk to in the poster session this evening and also over dinner tonight. So the plan for the rest of the day, we're going to take a break for 30 minutes. So there's some snacks and beverages out there so that you can refresh yourselves, go to your rooms, do whatever you want. And then at 4 o'clock, we'll come back out there for a poster session. So the second-year CI Fellows will have an opportunity to present about their research. We're not done yet, so to present about their research. And you can also have an opportunity to network, which has been a big theme of today and of this meeting as a whole. Again, dinner is on your own, so feel free to go to the restaurant in the hotel, somewhere else in Ballston. If you walk a block north and then a couple blocks east, there's a nice restaurant, The Willow, on the left-hand side of the street. And there's a whole bunch of nice eateries all around here. And the start time tomorrow is 8:30 for the first year 2010 CI Fellows for your career mentoring workshop. And if you have any questions, I will be here all evening. Andy Burnett is here. We have other CRA staff on hand. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. And we expect to have some NSF program staff also wandering around during the poster session. Thanks very much. And to the second year CI Fellows, I'll see you in the poster session. But thanks for coming and have safe flights back home.